Have you heard the famous, sad, scary story in China about Weeping Bride? Long ago, during the Qin dynasty in China, there was a young woman named Meng Jiangnu. She had just married a man named Fan Shiliang. Their happiness was short-lived because the ruthless Emperor Qin Shi Huang, known for his harsh rule and grand ambitions, forced Fan Shiliang to help build the Great Wall of China. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but Meng Jiangnu received no news from her beloved husband. Desperate and worried, she decided to embark on a dangerous journey to find him. She walked for many days, her feet bleeding and her heart filled with fear. When she finally reached the construction site of the Great Wall, she learned the heartbreaking truth. Fan Shiliang had died from the grueling labor and was buried within the wall. Overcome with grief, Meng Jiangnu wept uncontrollably. Her sobs were so powerful that they caused a section of the wall to collapse, revealing the bones of her beloved husband. Holding his remains, Meng Jiangnu's sorrow knew no bounds. She wept until she disappeared, consumed by her despair. Since then, it is said that anyone who visits the Great Wall at night can hear her mournful cries carried by the wind. Some have even seen a ghostly figure of a woman in white, her face streaked with tears, wandering the deserted sections of the wall, searching endlessly for her lost love. Locals warn against visiting the wall after dark, fearing the weeping bride's ghost and the sorrow she carries with her. Guys, suggest me scary stories or comment your country so I can make a story. True scary story of Estefania, who suddenly passed away in her bedroom. Estefania was a teenage girl living in Vallecas, a suburb of Madrid, Spain. In 1990, Estefania and her friends decided to play with a Ouija board at school. They wanted to contact the spirit of a classmate who had recently passed away. During the session, a teacher caught them and broke the board, abruptly ending the game. After that day, Estefania started experiencing strange and terrifying events. She reported seeing dark, shadowy figures around her room at night. She heard whispering voices and felt an invisible force choking her in her sleep. Her family also witnessed paranormal activity, such as objects moving on their own and doors slamming shut. Estefania's health began to decline rapidly. She suffered from seizures and hallucinations, and doctors could not find a medical explanation for her condition. Tragically, Estefania passed away suddenly in her bedroom in August 1991, and the cause of her death remains a mystery. After her death, the haunting in her family's apartment intensified. Her family continued to hear strange noises, see shadowy figures, and feel a malevolent presence. They eventually called the police, who documented their terrifying experiences, but could not offer any help. To this day, the story of Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro remains one of Spain's most chilling and well-documented paranormal cases. True, sad, scary story of Okiku, who was killed and thrown into the well. Himeji Castle is a beautiful, ancient castle in Japan, but it hides a dark and scary secret. Long ago, a woman named Okiku worked as a servant in the castle. One day, she overheard a plot to betray the lord of the castle. To keep her quiet, the samurai who were part of the plot accused her of stealing valuable plates. They hid one of the 10 precious plates and blamed Okiku for losing it. No matter how hard she searched, she couldn't find it, and the samurai tortured her for the missing plate. Finally, they killed her and threw her body into a well in the castle courtyard. Since then, people say that Okiku's ghost haunts the castle. At night, she rises from the well, counting the plates out loud. She counts from 1 to 9, and when she realizes the 10th plate is missing, she lets out a terrifying scream that echoes through the castle walls. Visitors and workers at Himeji Castle have reported seeing her ghostly figure and hearing her eerie counting. The haunting is so famous that the well where she was thrown is still called Okiku's Well. In Japan, there's a chilling true story about a doll named Okiku that continues to terrify people to this day. In 1918, a young boy named Aikichi Suzuki bought a beautiful doll for his 2-year-old sister, Okiku, while visiting Sapporo. The doll had traditional Japanese features, with black hair and a kimono. Okiku loved the doll dearly and played with it every day. Tragically, the little girl fell ill and died the following year. To honor her memory, her grieving family placed the doll in a shrine. Soon after, strange things began to happen. The doll's hair, originally cut short, started to grow. The family, believing that the spirit of Okiku had inhabited the doll, regularly trimmed its hair, but it continued to grow back. In 1938, when the Suzuki family moved, they felt they could not take the doll with them, so they entrusted it to the Maninji Temple in Hokkaido. The monks at the temple also witnessed the doll's hair growing and have kept it ever since, trimming its hair when it gets too long. The doll, now known as the Okiku doll, remains in the temple, drawing curious visitors who come to see this eerie phenomenon.